Right, thanks for coming. We're gonna deal with multiplication of whole numbers. We'll continue where we stopped before. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel. Also like and share this video, and leave a comment. If you have a comment, leave it down there. Let's say you have a question about anything we did, or if you want me to solve any problem for you under this topic, right? Put it down there, I will solve it for you. Put it under the comment, I will solve it for you. Let's say you have kids that are in school, they need help with their homework. Put the problems there, I will solve it. I will explain it, how to solve it. Anyway, so let's continue with multiplication. What is multiplication? Now we're dealing with multiplication of whole numbers. What is multiplication? Multiplication is a shortcut for addition, right? What does that mean? Multiplication is a repeated addition process. Let me give you an example to explain what I'm talking about. Let's say you have, let's say you multiply these two numbers here. If you multiply 6, for example, you multiply 6 times. Oh, by the way, before I do that, let me talk about the symbol of multiplication. Multiplication has a lot of symbols, right? One of them is this, and then another one is, sometimes they use dot, and then sometimes you see this thing star, it looks like star, and then sometimes you see two brackets to multiply two numbers, or if it's three numbers you see three brackets, right? Those are the same thing. They're all the same thing as multiplication. So if you have 7 times 6, you can write it as, you can also write it as, 7.6, or you can write it as 7 star 6, or you can write it as 7 times 6, like that. They will all lead you to 72. No matter how you do it, you get 72 out of them, right? You know, so those are the symbols of multiplication. Now, let's say you want to multiply two numbers, right? Like I said, you want to multiply 7 times 6, right? To show you that this process is the same thing as doing addition repeatedly. There are many ways you can write that. There are two ways. You can write it as 7 added 6 times, or you can write it as 6 added 7 times. Let's do the first part. You can write it as 7 added 6 times. See, 7 added 6 times. You can do that, you see. If you do that, you get the same result, right? That's the same thing. Yeah, 7 added 6 times will give you 42. Or you can do it as 7 times 2. You can do it as 6 added 7 times. So you get the same result. You can do it as 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. 7 times. You get the same result, 72. You can try that. Yeah, 6 added 7 times will get you the same result, right? So that's what they mean, that multiplication is a repeated addition. It's a shortcut for addition, right? And then there are a couple of properties I want to share with you about multiplication. 2 of them. Multiplication is commutative. Multiplication is what? Commutative, right there. What does that mean? It means the order the order you write the numbers does not matter, right? By the way, if you multiply 7 times 6 equals to 42, these 7 and 6 are called factors. They're called factors, right? Factors, that's what they call them. And then 42, the result, is called the product. The product of a multiplication. Okay, so let's say I have, I do this again, 7 times 6, right? We know it's 42. It's 42, right? We can write that as 6 times 7. It doesn't matter. If you write 6 times 7, you still get 42. So that's what that means. Multiplication is a commutative. And then multiplication is also associative. Now, what that means is the property of associative, you have to see that if you have three or more factors, right? Let's say you have 7 times 6 times 2, right? Of course, we know we'll have 42 over here. That's 42 over here. We know it's 42 times 2, which is 84, right? 84. Now, you can get that by moving the factors around, or you doing the two factors at the same time. After that, you do the other factor like this. You can say 7 times 6, right? And then put that in bracket. That means you do it first, then times 2. That's what I just did up there. That's what I just did here. Then you get 42, and then you multiply by 2. You get 84, right? You can also do it like this. You can say 7 times 6 times 2, right? You get the same result. That would be 7 times 12. So that's what they mean. It doesn't matter that you can even say, you can also say, let me see, you can do 7 times 2 first, and then after that you multiply by 6. You will get the same result. 7 times 2 is 14, and then 14 times 6 is what? It's 84. You get the same result. So that's what that means. That's what that property means. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to do some problems. All right. The first example is 6 times 2. Again, we do the same thing we'll be doing. You line the stuff up. You can go, you can do horizontally, says 12, right? But that's not, we don't want to do it that way. We want to, do the way we'll be doing. We'll line it up. We'll say 6 times 2, like that. That's how you line it up. You write 6 and then you write 2 below it, and then you put the sign, and then you draw a horizontal line, and then it says 6 times 2 is of course 12. That's it. That's the answer. You're done with that one. So we'll move on to the next one. Next example is 9 times 2. You line it up. 9 times 2, like that. 9 times 2 is 18. You just write it like that, and then you're done. That's the answer right there. We'll move on to the next one. What is that? 41. 41 times 2, you line it up. Okay, so you see, now we're going to 2 digits, right? Now you walk from right to left. You say 2 times 1 is 2, right? And then 2 times 4 is 8. So that's your answer right there. All right, so let's go to the next problem. Okay, 55 times 3, you line it up. 55 times 3, you line it up like that. Now 5 times 3 is 15. You write 5 down and you carry 1, right? And then you say 5 times 3 again. is 15 plus 1 is 16. That's the answer right there. You're done. See? So you will continue. We'll go to the next problem. 163 times 3. You line it up. 163 times 2. Times 3. You line it up like that. Okay? And then you do 3 times 3 is 9. Right? 3 times 6 is 18. You write 8 down, carry 1. Right? Put 1 up there like that. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And that's your answer right there. You're done. Okay? So just pay attention to what you're doing. Follow each step clearly, and then you won't make any mistake. Okay? So let's go to the next problem. The next problem is we're still doing 3 digits multiplied by 1 digit. Okay? So you line it up. 4, 5, 9 times 4. Alright? So 4 times 9 is 36. You write 6 down and you carry 3. Put the 3 up there. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. You write 3 down. Right? And you carry 2. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. You're done. You write it down. Write the 18 down. And then you're done. That's 1,836 is your answer. We'll move on to the next problem. Let's see. Now we're multiplying 2 digits multiplied by 2 digits. Don't get scared. It's the same thing. Just do the same thing and then you don't have any problem. You just line it up. 86 times 12. Just the same thing. If you remember what we did with when I explained to you the positions of each numbers in the base 10 numbering system. If you remember that, this is not, don't be scared with it, don't let this scare you. It's the same thing. So you start with 2, you walk from right to left, you start with 2. When you're done with 2, then you start with 1. So we do 2 times 6 is 12. You write 2 down, carry 1, right? And then we'll say 2 times 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17, right? We'll just write it like that. Right? See how we line it up? We're lining everything up. And then we'll move on to 1. 1 times 6 is 6. You put it under, you line it up where the 1 is. You see 1 is right there. Let me see. Let me help you. See where the 1 is. So you're lining things up like that. Right? Because you're multiplying with 1. 1 times 8 is 8. So you write it here 8 like that. Now there is something you need to notice. When you multiply by 1, that 1 is actually 10. You remember? It's by the position it occupies in the base 10 number system. It's 110. So you can put 0 here. If you put 0 there, you're not causing any problem, because you see 1 time, when you say 10 times 86 is 860. So don't get confused. Just keep that in your head. That's why I started with that. It will help you if you understand what I did there. Okay, so now that you've done this, you add things up, right? 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 6 is what? It's 13. You write 3 down and carry 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. See? We're done. So this is 1032. That's it. So if you just keep things in order, just remembering that where tens are, where ones are, where hundreds are, you won't have any problem. Everything becomes very easy to solve. All right, I want to redo the previous problem we just did. That way I can show you a trick. Remember the last problem? What we did is 86 times 12. We said is you line things up like we normally do, times 12. Remember the result we got? The result we got is if you multiply by 2, remember we had 172. You can check the problem we solved, and then we multiply by 1. We had 86, and we added 0 here. Remember, we added 0 here. It's not, we don't have to. So that's what we did. And then we added this. Remember, we added this, and we get 10. Check the previous problem. That's what we had, 1032. That's what we had. Let me show you a trick. This trick is very helpful when you have a large number. When you're dealing with a large number. Let's say they give you a very large number to multiply. Let's say they give you 3-digit numbers to multiply with another 3-digit numbers. This will really help you. The process I will go through here will work with 3 digits, it will work with 4 digits, it doesn't matter how many digits. You see what we just did here? This is how we usually line things up, right? But now, suppose we do it in part. Suppose we do part 1 and part 2, right? So what we do is we break up, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go ahead and use the 12. We break up the number. We multiplied 86 by 1, and then we multiply 86 by 2, right? So basically what we're doing, we're break up the one of the number. We're breaking up 12. Break up 12 into 1 and 2, right? That's what we're doing. So when you use 1, and multiply 86. Say you say 86 times 1, right? What do you get? You get 86. You remember? 86. That's what you get. When you use 2 and multiply 86 times 2. Well, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Just write 2. And then you multiply it out. What do you get? You remember what we got before? We got 172. You remember? That's what we got up here, right here. Okay, so once you do that, then you have to add the two parts together. But this is where you have to pay attention to what you're doing. This is where you use the positional property of the base 10 number system. You remember, we break up 12, but don't forget 12 is like that, right? Then you do 86. This is from 1, right? And then because 12 is the 2 is just 2 ones, and the 1 is 110, right? You line it up, following that idea of maintaining the position of the figures. So you say what the result of multiplying 2 by 86, you write it 172, because these are, like I said, 2 are ones, and then the result of multiplying by 1, you have to make a space. You can't write it like this. You can't write it 86. No. You get the wrong answer. You gotta give 1 unit to the left to show that 1 is 10 instead of 1, right? Again, that's why that thing I showed you is very useful. 86, and then remember, this is always 0. You don't have to put the 0 there. And then you add it up. 2. You bring down 2. 7 plus 6 is 13. You write down 3. Take 1. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus another 1 is 10. See, we got the same result. So when you have a big number, you can break it up like that. Don't get intimidated. Let's say you have a big number like this, 9, 6, 7, 5, 9 multiplied by 8, 9, 6, 7, right? You can break it up. You can multiply the number by 8, then you multiply it by 9, then you multiply it by 6, then you multiply it by 7. But when you put it together, do the addition, you line it up according to their position in the base 10 number system. So let's leave it there. Let's do one more problem, the last problem on the multiplication, right? I'm gonna do using the two methods that I just used earlier, right? So we'll do it normally. Let's do it normally the way we normally do it. You line up the stuff, line up the numbers. You say 596 times 456, and you draw the horizontal line, right? And you start with 6, right? You start with 6. You say 6 times 6 is 36. You write 6 down, right? And you carry 3. You put 3 here. 6 times 9 is 54. 54 plus 3 is 57. You write 7 here. I don't know why this stuff is moving. Just give me a minute. You write 7 here, and then you carry 5. Okay, you put 5 here. You say 6 times 5 is 30 plus 5, 35. Then you write the whole thing down because we're done with the figures. All right, so you move on to 5. All right, you say 5 times 6 is 30. You write 0 here, and then you carry. Let me clean this up first. I clean those carryover. So 5 times 6 is 30. You write 0, carry 3, right? You put 3 there. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 3 is 48. You write 80 here, and then you carry 4 over here. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 is 29. You write it down just because we're done with the rest of the figures, okay? 4 times 6 is 24. You write 4 down and carry 2. Okay, you write 4, carry 2. 4 times 9 is 36 plus 2, 38. You write 8 down, carry 3. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3, 23. You write it down, 23, because the figures are finished. And then now you're gonna add the whole thing. You add them up. You bring down 6, line them up, bring down 7, and then 5 plus 8 plus 4 is 17. You write 7, carry 1. Okay? And then 3 plus 9 plus 8 is actually, let me see, 20 plus 1, 21. You write 1, carry 2. 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7. You write 7, and then you bring down 2. That's it. That's the solution of that problem right there, right? That's the solution right there. Okay, but you see what I'm gonna do with another method. Do the second method. The second method is just splitting the number up. I'm gonna go ahead and split the number up. That way you can see there's another way. It's up to you the way you wanna do it. I want you to see what I did in the other side. That way when I split up, you can follow me what I'm doing. So to multiply 596 by 456. So I split this number up here. So I do 596 multiply by 6 times 6. Then I multiply by, I do the same thing, 596 multiply by 5. Then I do the same thing. 596 multiplied by 4. Right? So we already did the work here. This is multiplication by 6 right there. So I bring the numbers over. It's 3576. Okay? And then when you do multiplication, when you multiply 596 with 5, right? It's already, we already did it here. You bring it down here, 2980. Okay? When you multiply by 4, we did it here. You bring it down, 2384, right? So the trick is now you gotta put it together. You split it up now. You gotta put it together. When you put it together, you use the positions of the numbers, right? Just if you look over here carefully, you will see. So we'll start with multiplication by 6. You write the number 3576, and then the next number is 5. Notice that, well, you see 6 is on ones, right? 5 is on tens, and 4 is on 100. If you look over here, right? So we just give a space when we're writing multiplication by 5. We put it right here, 0892. That's the same thing we did here. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with 4. We give once, we jump, space, one more space, and then we'll start writing over here, 4832. Basically, that's it. You add it up. If you line it up like this, you add it up, you come up with the same answer. There's no way you come up with a different answer, right? You bring down 6, you write 7. The way you add these up is 17. You write down 7, carry 1, right? When you add these 3 plus 9 is 12, 12 and 8 is 20 plus 1, 21. You write 1 down, and then you carry to bring it over here. 5, 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7, and you bring down 2. See the same result. If you look over here, that's why I wanted to write it like this. Look over here, see the same result. But anyway, I think I'm done with the multiplication. Do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video. If you have any question, write it under the comment. If your kids have questions about multiplication, have them write it down and submit it over here. I will solve them. I will explain, not just solve them, but I will explain the problem by when I'm solving them. Okay, thank you for coming.